This season of My First Dungeon is sponsored by Soul Muppet Publishing and their Kickstarter campaign for Orbital Blues Afterburn. We have been fans of Soul Muppet Publishing for a while now and are beyond excited to be working with them as part of this campaign. Zach, Sam, Josh, and the entire team at Soul Muppet Publishing create the kind of games that we love to play. Ones that target specific experiences and leverage every aspect of the text, the visuals, and the mechanics of the game to support players and their game masters at the table. Everything in Orbital Blues Afterburn will absolutely deliver on that same promise. Click on the link to the Kickstarter campaign in our show notes to help back this excellent project and to support an awesome company like Soul Muppet Publishing. And with that, enjoy the show. Hello and welcome to My First Dungeon, the tabletop role-playing podcast that helps game masters learn new games and make each one better than the last. This is our session 0 for a brand new season. What season, you ask? What game are we playing, you might wonder? Well, how about I give it a little intro here? It is an intergalactic age of cowboys, outlaws, and bandits playing on an interstellar stage. It is a time of hyper-capitalism and cutthroat gig economy. Unreliable trash heaps carry scrappy underdogs to their next gig, while corporate freighters lumber across the horizon laden with an empire's bounty. The back streets of every terraformed metropolis brim with 1,000 lonely hearts and 1,000 more venal vendettas. The burnt-out wastelands between bright lights are lawless bat countries, anachronistic Americana languishing beneath multiple moons. Madness in every direction at every solar hour. These are the music-fueled Moon Age daydreams of a rebel space age. These are your Orbital Blues. Yes, indeed. This season we're playing Orbital Blues from Soul Muppet Publishing. Very excited to be sponsored by Soul Muppet Publishing, coming up for their Orbital Blues Afterburn Kickstarter for the supplement to this game. Woo! We've been wanting to do some like space games on this show for a while, and Orbital Blues is absolutely the one that we have to do.
Big fans of space.
Big fans of space here,
Yeah.
if you didn't know.
Absolutely love space.
Love space.
I like space.
Now, what you're wondering right now is, who are all those other voices that I'm hearing on this podcast? Well, let me go ahead and introduce you to them. And we're going to start all the way over in the UK, because this is a UK-based company, so we got to start with a UK-based player. If you're a regular listener to My First Dungeon, then you know him. They're a TTRPG writer, actual play producer, and performer from the UK. You'll remember him as Enoch the Dictator from our Die season. You can hear them right now in their Over the Garden Wall-inspired actual play, Beyond the Brook. Please welcome back to the show, Draconics!
Thank you. You can hold the applause. Thank you.
We cannot and we will not hold the applause.
I'm so excited. This is going to be, I've got ideas. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I love someone coming in with the statement, I've got ideas. It's almost as good as, I've got thoughts.
I've got notes.
So we go from the UK across the Atlantic to our New York contingent of people. If you know My First Dungeon, you're going to recognize all these names. First up, you know him as a designer of games like Something Is Wrong with the Chickens, and most recently, and most notably for this show, Project Echo. Please welcome back, Elliot Davis.
Woo!
Hello.
Hey.
Space. The final frontier. Next up, you'll recognize him as Grink from 10 Candles, Nuki from Wanderhome, Jayamal from Die. It is none other than your friend and mine, Chinook Tessera.
Boo.
Get off the stage. Do something cool.
Do a backflip.
It's wild. We keep having him back. We keep having that same reaction every time. I don't know why. Definition of insanity is thinking you're going to get something new, but it just doesn't happen. And last but not least of our New York crew, you have heard her right here playing Babs in 10 Candles, Kelly with both an I and with a Y in our Die season, Gertrude in Yazeba's Bed and Breakfast, and Agent 007. That's right, Agent 0707 in our Project Echo season. Please welcome back Abby Hepworth.
Hello.
Yay!
Yay.
Stay on the stage.
Stay on stage. Your presence is enough for us. Thank you.
And we've gone from the UK to New York. We got to go a whole 3 more time zones to get over to Los Angeles, California to introduce our last player. You can find her writing and acting on Dropout, in Game Changer, and in Breaking News when she's not streaming as Jacuzzi Tubs on Twitch. You can also find her hosting FMK Champions on U-Jokes. Very excited to reintroduce the lovely Carolyn Page.
Lo, 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 lo. Uh-oh.
We love you.
Uh-oh. You are also allowed on the stage.
This is my voice now.
Yes. Rag and Bones.
Be right.
Oh, God.
Did that voice hurt to do?
Every voice hurts a little bit.
That's good.
I don't know if your parents told you, but if you do that voice for too long, it will get stuck like that.
It gets
Yeah.
stuck like this. It's very hard to get a job. That's why I got a podcast.
Oh, that's too real. It's too real for me. So now we go from the UK to NY to LA and blast off into outer space, into the frontier galaxy that is the setting for Orbital Blues. For those of you who don't know, space in Orbital Blues is not shiny and lovely and beautiful like it is. You're not seeing fancy spaceships out there unless you are wildly wealthy, and none of us will ever be able to afford one of those types of spaceships. The vibe for Orbital Blues is cassette tapes, it's CRT televisions, it's wood paneling spaceships. Like, that's the kind of vibe you're thinking. Everything there is corporatized, it is robust, mass-produced, kitsch, it's form over function, it's unreliable, it's branded. Everything in this world is corporate and competitive. We are just people struggling in a gig economy trying to survive. If that feels too real, it's because it is.
It's like galactic fast fashion, but for ships.
Exactly.
Oh my God. Yeah,
It
right?
is, yeah.
Like, you buy the Shein jacket and then it breaks in 2 weeks. That's like you just bought a new like reactive coupler for your ship, and it's like, it's gonna bust, but it's gonna look good for this one gig.
In Orbital Blues, there are 3 things that the setting says about Orbital Blues setting. And the first one is, for better or for worse, humanity has colonized known space and has stagnated thereafter. So everything still feels like it's from the 90s, even though we're up in space. Corporations and competitive industry were and are a driving and unchecked force of power. And last, known space is too large, too busy, or too disconnected to police properly or effectively. This is very much an outlaw galaxy. But that's kind of all the book really says about this world. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to create a bit of a vibe together of kind of what the world is that we're going to be playing in. And this is a game that is very much inspired by Cowboy Bebop and Firefly, space operas and westerns, Sergio Leone. This is a musical setting, very deliberately so, and it's called Orbital Blues for a reason. We're playing sad space cowboys. So I asked everyone here to come up with 1 or 2 songs that they think would best represent the universe as we're going to be playing in it. So I kind of want to go around and get everyone to put a song on this universal playlist that'll kind of be our vibe calibrator for this season. Anyone want to start us off?
I would like to start us off with One Bourbon, One Scotch, One Beer by none other than John Lee Hooker.
1 bourbon, 1 scotch. We can't afford this song.
I was gonna say, is the bit that we all say a song and then Brian, you sing it?
Then
Yeah.
Brian does a legally distinct rendition.
Because
yes.
I'm gonna pivot what songs I pick specifically for this.
I don't know if Brian could sing my song. There are no lyrics, so I
Yeah,
don't
I
know. It would be
also chose
interesting.
a wordless song.
Drag, hit me up. What do you got?
Okay, this is a weird one, so hear me out.
Love it already.
Many people might know this, I'm a big Adventure Time fan.
Mm.
And recently a new series came out called Fiona and Cake, which is a spin-off of that.
Oh, yeah.
And specifically, my song is the Fiona and Cake intro. because it gives a very similar vibe. It gives kind of like a hijinks kind of vibe.
Oh, this rips.
Oh yeah.
Drag, that is such a good choice.
Yeah.
This slaps. Carolyn, you said you had another wordless song. What do you got for us?
Yeah, I have, I think it's got some whistling in it, but I listen to a lot of video game soundtracks. And there's nothing that's sadder and there's nothing that's more cowboy than Red Dead Redemption. So I chose the theme from the original Red Dead Redemption by Bill Ellman, Woody Jackson, because it's so good. And then here's a song that I actually found recently. I like to listen to video game soundtracks, and my partner likes to listen to spa music to relax.
They really go hand in hand. So
yeah, they really go hand in hand. So this song is called Evening Star Early Mix from a group called All India Radio, and it's a real vibe. And I thought it was just like space and bluesy, and I really like it.
Abby, what do you got for us?
I misunderstood the assignment.
How did you interpret the assignment?
I want whatever you prepare.
Yeah, well, let's be clear. You're not allowed to fix it.
So I tried to come up with songs that went hand in hand with different character ideas that I had. So it was less about the world as a whole and more about who I thought I was going to be playing.
We've got some of that too.
That was
You
part of
only
the
did
assignment.
half
You're
the
good.
assignment.
You did
So I
half
did
the
half
assignment.
the
You
assignment
didn't
what
flip the page
happened.
over. There was an essay section on the back.
Yes. Got it.
There was an essay section.
I'll just pull out this one. So I was listening to Bob Dylan's newest album, Shadow Kingdom, and there's honestly like most of the songs on it I think would be great additions to this. But the one that I'm gonna put in here is It's All Over Now, Baby Blue.
Okay, so Abby backed her way into the assignment. Great.
There's like honestly most of that album I feel like is cool and works for this.
Well, I'm looking over at Chinook, and I see that Chinook is definitely prepared for the assignment. Unlike Abby. What do you
I
got?
did half of it.
The way I said that made it seem like I was digging at Chinook rather than digging at Abby. I was digging at Abby.
Yeah.
No,
I
that
like,
was
what do
very
you-
clear
what-
to me.
Schnook clearly did his homework.
I was like, what do I not do my homework?
No, that's
I mean, I
actually
don't, but-
Elliot had the vibe that I was going for. Chinook, what do you got for us?
I've been on a pretty big Jay-Z kick lately, so I chose Hard Knock Life by Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Great song.
I also really like that as an added vibe.
I'm going to go ahead and add one in myself. And I feel like I'm a huge Cowboy Bebop fan. I love the seatbelts and the music they do. So I'm going to add on the end credit song for the Cowboy Bebop movie, Gotta Knock a Little Harder, which I end up bumping about once a week.
Very nice.
So that'll give us kind of a vibe of the world. So you can check that out. I'll link the Spotify playlist in our show notes so you can kind of hear what vibe we're going for sonically. But now that we have a musical vibe of like what this universe is, let's talk about our characters. So in Orbital Blues, characters are sad space cowboys driven by their troubles and trying to get away from the blues as best they can, but are also kind of powered up by their blues as well. In Orbital Blues, there are three main stats. There's muscle, grit, and savvy. And that's mostly it. It's muscle, grit, and savvy. Your heart is your health. Your blues are a measure of how sad you are. Yes, that's right. In this game, sad equals XP. So the sadder we get, the higher level we get.
Would a depressed person make this?
Would a depressed person play this?
So let's talk about some characters. One of the first things that Orbital Blues has you do when you pick a character is choose one of the titles on page 15. This is a big list of ways to describe your character. Something like the cat, the queen, the arms, the artist, the brave, the survivor, the gambler, the mechanic. So starting back where we just left off, Chinook, tell us who you are.
Yeah. Totally. Cool.
It sounds like someone who did their homework.
I did. No, I just want to make sure I'm saying the right things. They don't sound like a stupid idiot.
Oh my god. You can tell we've made seasons together before because the amount of like ribbing this time is off the charts.
Yeah, when we did the die season, everyone was very polite, very nice.
Yeah.
Let's slit Chinook's throat right now. Cool. So I have two options that I chose for myself, and we can kind of talk about it if somebody else wanted these titles. The two that I picked was either The Boss or The Regret.
I was feeling The Regret if you're equally attached to both of those.
You want to do The Regret?
If you don't have a strong
Yeah,
feeling.
you can have The Regret.
I like The
Does anyone
Boss
want The
for
Boss?
You can have the regret. Take it. I don't need it.
I'll take The Regret.
Take. It's all yours, Elliot.
Thank you.
But yeah, if nobody wanted The Boss, I think
I like
that
The
would
Boss.
be-
That's cool.
I feel like I can
cool.
almost hear what you're going to sound like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. That's such a strong like start because that can really anchor the rest of the team, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Abby, what are you thinking?
I similarly had I had 2.5 different character ideas. One was effectively being like the pilot of the ship and was going to go with the dancer.
Ooh.
Mm.
Fun.
And then the other one, which I can't figure out which one of these names works, was to basically do the brick in the wall troubles, which is effectively you're a full normal human.
It's a normal person.
Why are you here?
I'll
And
say no.
I actually like the idea of not having a title and being like, that's just Jeff.
That's
Either that or
Jeff.
I think it'd be funny to have him be like the freak or the crack, like to pick one of the kookier ones because it doesn't fit at all. So depending on which way I go.
The chef? That's
chef,
fun. You're
yes,
just like
chef.
a normal cook, like a line
I do
cook.
like the idea of like you gave yourself this nickname. Like no one calls you this. You're like, I want to be cool. Can
No
you call
one
me the
calls me
freak?
I'm the freak.
I kind of wouldn't mind if you start out with nothing and you're just trying to find it throughout the show.
You
Yeah.
keep saying,
Oh my God, I love that.
I'm the guys call me the freak.
It was,
No,
because
nobody's calling you that.
as I said, I had 2 different kind of character ideas. In the first one, if it's like the pilot, I like the dancer. But if it's the second one, kind of like not having a title and trying to find my nickname, my tag sign,
I love that.
Yeah,
Those are
that's
both
great.
great.
That's really fun.
Cool.
Drac, what about you?
Yeah, so I think either the quick or the outcast are the two I'm thinking.
Mm.
I like both of those for you.
Yeah. I'm thinking the quick because this is probably jumping ahead a little bit, but I'm thinking of having my own personal like horror board, whatever the equivalent of it that is. And that's why I'm known as the quick.
Very
Cool.
cool. I dig that.
Like a straight like a Back to the Future hoverboard thing?
I guess like whatever the more Cowboy Bebop version of that would be. Like very clearly not road or space safe. Like it's definitely illegal to like those things. Like these people go to the back corners of space to race these things, and then they get caught by the police and everyone scatters kind of vibe.
Cool.
The kind you have to kick.
Yeah, exactly. Get going. Yeah.
I love this.
Hey, so wait, so Drac, what were you between? You're between
Between the quick and the outcast.
the Quick and the Outcast. Okay.
Yeah.
If the quick
is
means
cool.
hoverboard,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quick
I feel
means
like it's so
hoverboard. I think we
specific,
want the
quick.
hoverboard.
And in that case, the quick it is.
I will say with Orbital Blues, I think hoverboard it's got to be like kind of shitty in some way.
Oh, 100%.
So there's got to be some aspect of it like doesn't work or doesn't work all the time.
Yeah. No, this hoverboard is not the same. Like I've changed so many parts of this hoverboard. It's got philosophers thinking, questioning if it's the same hoverboard. Like it's thesis of shit. They're like, is it the
thesis
same
ship of
hoverboard?
hoverboards.
Really? Yeah. And they're probably from pieces of other crashed hoverboards. They're like, so I'm just like grabbing them and using them to repair mine. So yeah, no, for sure it's not working 100% of the time. Barely 50 to be honest.
In the Outlaw Galaxy, everything is like branded. Everything has like a logo on it. What is this hoverboard's like?
Oh.
No one can call it this anymore because all the pieces are gone. But like, when someone asks you what type of hoverboard it is, what brand name do you give them?
Are we using raw life brands or should I make one up?
Should probably make one.
Or is
Yeah.
it maybe like all different brands like
Shein.
mushed together?
See, I was thinking Shein as well.
Oh my god, good. Excellent. So funny.
I'll think on it, but yeah,
Think on it. We'll-
She's
we'll-
really good.
we'll check
I'll
it
think
out.
on it.
We'll
I
check
think
back.
we're protected by parody if we really lead into the Shein slander.
Do you really think Shin's going to come after this podcast?
It depends on how hard we decide to go.
I think
guess
that would
that's true.
honestly be great for us.
Great
if
press.
that happened.
That
Yeah.
would be great marketing. Yeah.
All press is good press.
Carolyn, what role, what title have you been looking at?
Okay, I think I'm gonna go with the Lonely Heart because I had two different characters that I was thinking of playing, and one, the Lonely Heart one, I think just has like a more interesting and sadder story, so that I've come up with. So get ready to be sad.
Hell yeah.
Already there.
Already there, beat you to it.
Already there. I think everyone has a pretty decent idea of what character they want to be. Do you guys want to go around and kind of introduce your characters?
Yeah.
And then we'll kind of build off it from there. So, Carolyn, actually, you know what? It's only right. We got to start with the boss. We got to start from the top.
Yeah.
This is a hyper-capitalist society. We got to start from the top and work our way down.
So my character, the boss, is their name is Kumari. They use they them pronouns. And Kumari is pretty tall, like lanky individual. Wears like a duster with like leather pants that are tight with like high like leather boots that are like strapped and like have a bunch of like contraptions around it. They have like a their face, there's like a face tattoo that's just like a treble clef note kind of thing on the right side of their face.
Hell yeah.
Very cool.
And then you see their like right eye is like a mechanical eye that's been replaced. And then they only have one arm. They only have their left arm. The right arm is gone. I think there's like one person on the ship who like knew Kumari like for like a long time, if has been with them for forever. And they're like pretty like to themselves in a way that like they don't want to get close to anyone. Something has troubled them. And like it all stems back to their birthday, like their 30th birthday, where something horrific happened and they lost everything.
This feels like it might be inspired by something that
Abby,
maybe
you
happened
shut the fuck up!
like 2 days ago.
I am not drawing from a personal tragedy that I'm still processing at this moment.
Ooh.
And we'll slowly learn what that tragedy is, both in real life and in the fiction, as
Hey,
the
remember,
story
kids,
progresses.
TTRPGs are not therapy. Stay with me, everyone. TTRPG is not therapy. Anyway, go.
We would just like to make sure everyone knows that.
Yeah, therapy role-playing games.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Boom.
No, ignore me, kids. Only
It is
TTRPGs.
therapy. This is actively therapy.
It's more
and so,
therapy than
like,
therapy. It's therapy twice.
it's therapy twice. Because you talk about it, then you play it. And so they have this one rule on the ship that no one is allowed to celebrate their own birthday, and only one person actually knows what the birthday is and like what actually happened. Yeah, that's all. They're very closed on that, but then like have a deep care and love for everybody on the ship. That's who they are.
Hell yeah.
I love that.
Have you chosen a trouble for your character?
I think the trouble is Orbital Blues.
Oh, classic.
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 He said the thing. He said the
I said
thing.
it. I said the name. We won. We win.
Go home, everybody.
There it is. The Orbital Blues.
And that's a wrap on Chinook. All right.
I'm dead. It was good playing. Orbital Blues. Reality is ruthless. Everyone else is fighting the blues too. But you lost big.
So what we're talking about here, each character's trouble, is a kind of character creation and mechanical thing that we're going to be using throughout the game. Specifically in this session 0, each trouble has a number of questions that we will have Chinook and our various players answer about their particular trouble. We'll only answer 2 of the 5 questions in this session, and the rest will kind of be sussed out throughout play. And whenever something happens regarding your trouble, either you answer one of these questions in play, or you do something else kind of related to your trouble. For instance, with Orbital Blues, if you wrestle with the blues, if you inflict the blues upon another, or if you see someone enjoying something the blues have spoiled for you. So in this case, if Kumari saw someone enjoying their birthday, you gain 1 blues. As you slowly tick up your blues, once you get up to 8 blues, you are able to kind of reckon with your trouble. So we'll kind of see that play out in the fiction as well.
It's called hitting rock bottom, just like in real life.
Like we said in this game, sad equals XP.
Yeah.
Chinook, Kumar is the boss. Who do you want to hear from next?
Popcorn.
Ooh, I think Kumari wants to hear from the Lonely Heart.
Yeah. I'm Eli O'Connor, and I got a sad story. So my trouble is gonna be best served cold. I got a revenge. Did anyone else have that? I can change it. Oh hell yeah! These things are always so crazy because I'm like everyone's gonna have my exact same idea, and they never do.
I have this, that's why I made like 3 backup
Yeah.
plans, and then was like,
Yeah.
I don't think you
Same.
need this many.
Yeah, crazy.
That was the thing we were saying when we played Wanderhome, of like, everyone who plays that game looks at all the playbooks and they're like, oh, there's one that everyone's gonna play.
yeah.
And then you get to the
And
recording,
it
it's like,
doesn't
no,
happen.
everyone picked a different one.
I love it. Everyone's different. Everyone really is special. Okay, so Eli O'Connor was working as a low-level enforcer for a gangster when he was a young man, and he made that classic mistake of falling in love with the boss's daughter. Not this boss, but the gang leader's daughter. And they decided to elope in space. They decided to run away, leave the life of crime behind them. On the way, so they like disguised themselves. They were going to steal a ship and get away. As they were running away, the daughter got shot and killed. So now that gangster is obviously mad at him, and then he's gone. I'm on the run. Eli's on the run, and I've sworn revenge to wipe out this gang for my lady love to get revenge on her. So I'm wanted by the gang, and I want to kill the gang.
What is the name of your lady love?
Oh, let's see. They've got so many great tables here. Let's go. Her name was Nikki. I like that. Nikki.
And your name's Eli?
My name's Eli O'Connor.
He, him?
He, him. He's a very tall, thin, lanky cowboy with like sort of the cyberpunk yellow like cowboy jacket with the real high collar and like a dusty brown like cowboy hat that he always wears real low, and he's got kind of flared out jeans and like a saunter, but it's a space vibe also.
But
maybe instead of like the hat band on the cowboy hat, instead of like being leather with like a feather sticking out of it, maybe it's just like a circuit board like on the side of it as decoration.
That's fun.
To make it space.
Like one of those like
Really good
kind of like LED, or not those but like, what are those things called? Like the tape ribbons from computers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And he's got real sunken in, sad looking eyes. They always have dark circles on them because he doesn't sleep. He just stays up thinking about his sorrows.
Thinking about his sorrows.
Oh no.
And my gambit, I think, is going to be true grit. So I've got real guts, and once per session, I may draw on my inner resolve to roll a stat check or attack with the upper hand using my grit instead of the normal stat.
Hell yeah. In this game, 2 of the things we're going to be describing here, we've described the troubles. This is a thing that is troubling your character. It is a driving force in their life. The gambit is something you are particularly good at or able to do. So it's kind of like a special ability for your character. Actually, Chinook, what was Kumari's gambit? Did you pick a gambit?
Yeah, the gambit was Captain.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
The boss.
And what power does that allow you in this game?
The Captain is you lead your crew through thick and thin, and they'll always trust you. Once per scene, when you order one of your crew to do something, they roll with the upper hand on that check. Tell the other characters how you ended up in charge or why you think you are.
Oh.
Hell yeah. And we'll talk about the mechanics of this specific game in a little bit, but to keep it brief, the upper hand is essentially this system's way of saying you get advantage. Disadvantage in this system is called against the odds, but we'll talk a little bit more on those in a little bit. Hell yeah. So we have Kumari, we have Eli O'Connor, and actually, Eli, the module that we're going to be playing, the Sutler system, which is in the back of the core rulebook, there just so happens to be some mob gang-related stuff happening.
No way! I swear I didn't look at it. I just really wanted to make a character that just like spends all of their free time just like staring sadly into the middle distance. So that's my inspiration for this character. Just like no joy, just full of blues.
I have a fun build off that, or ways we could maybe tie our characters together potentially.
Oh, okay.
So my character's name is Ward. He, him.
Ward.
W-A-R-D, short for Wardley.
I don't know why that got me so good.
So Ward is in too deep, which the subtitle of is you got involved with the wrong people and did things you ain't proud of. So Ward, my thought on his backstory is that Ward is from a crime family, and is in too deep with them, but also kind of like estranged because he had like sort of a Fredo situation, although not quite as pathetic as Fredo, where he and his brother took a job with a different family because he wanted to prove himself, and it was a trap, and his brother got killed, and so he has those regrets about getting his brother killed, and then like he went back to his family, and his family was like, we'll kill you if we ever see you again, essentially. Like that was the beloved older brother. So he wears a bullet hole ridden jacket and sad guy. Another sad boy. But I'm thinking maybe my family might be the mob, and maybe that's like Carolyn, your lost love is maybe like a sister or a cousin, and I don't know, and you don't know that I'm part of that family potentially.
I think that's interesting. I find it's a little tricky when we as players are trying to keep information from each other. Like there's just like a weird dance.
Sure.
So, but what about this? Pitch off of that. The family that killed your brother was the family that I used to work for. And so we've both sworn revenge against that family. Right. Or maybe part of, I don't know, your journey is to like get revenge on them or make up with your family. But your family, that could be an interesting obstacle, like repairing things for your family and help to get them to help us against this other mob family, potentially.
Right. Yeah, I like that. I'm also like on the run from my family because if they ever find me, they will. Right. They'll kill me.
Right. So that would be fun, is like we're on the run from two different mafias. But I like that, and maybe that's how we linked up, is like sworn to get revenge on this one mob family.
Yeah.
So let me tell you a little bit about the Sutler system and some of the factions that exist in this module. Ooh. One of the biggest factions is the Perazzo family, led by Tony Perazzo, the eldest sister. They are an ever-increasing crime family within the Sutler system, which is like a kind of backwater system that no one, there is no police force there. It is just run by, crime syndicates, essentially. There's the Perazzo family. They're in a bit of a kind of war with a rival drug smuggling operation under the command of Saul Jackson. There is also a group of kind of bikers out in the desert called the Reno Snakes, led by Francine Dubois.
Sounds like Drax's character maybe has done some racing with the Reno Snakes.
Yeah. I already have. Yeah, that was perfect, because I was wondering what of mine. Because my trouble is on the run. I think I immediately know. I think on the run from the Reno family. Why? Because I think I stole a key piece of the leader's bike, and I've been using it to power my hoverboard.
Awesome.
So I have it on me, and they want it back because maybe it's really expensive or sentimental. I don't know. but they really want it back. So my child was on the run. But before all of that, my character's name, again, hear me out, it's going to be weird. My character's name is blank. Literally the word blank. Any pronouns, he, she, they, all of them work fine. And if you're writing it down, it's very specifically square brackets blank is their name.
Cool.
And their whole look is very like Mad Max-esque, like lots of like rags and strips of torn scarves and stuff like that, where the kind of grayish tank top, pretty beaten and worn down leather pants with, I haven't decided what, I've got like two weapons I can't choose between. So either a pistol or a knife at his side, and wears a completely white featureless mask on their face at all times. And so it completely covers it, so you don't know what they look like other than everything else. They have a old scar along the front of their neck, and they don't talk, they're mute. So they have a kind of like old school like BlackBerry phone that they type what they want to say and then show it to whoever they're talking to for them to read, and that's how they communicate with people.
Cool.
And yeah, so the last time someone asked him his name, I think like in this crew, the last time someone asked him his name, he literally just typed up the word square brackets blank, and that's what people called them since.
Very cool.
Awesome.
I think the only thing I'd like to add to that, if you'll allow me, is I love the old school BlackBerry. Can it also have a talk to text feature?
Ooh, I think it does have a talk to text feature, but I think they rarely use it. I think they do prefer. 'Cause I think the talk to text, like the text to talk feature, is a very embarrassing voice, and it takes away from the intimidation they like to go for.
I love
So like every so often they might use it when they're like, okay, they're too far away to like read this. Let me play it out loud. But they're like, okay, but at least be emotionally prepared for it to sound like so. It's probably like, I don't know. I feel like maybe a kid's voice or something like that. Just something very non-intimidating. Yeah. Like something very non-intimidating. So they try not to use it, but when they do, it often ruins the
aura. The
aura, the kind of creepy, scary intimidation aura they're going for.
Everyone put your weapons on the ground and nobody gets hurt.
For the most part, they at the very least come across kind of happy-go-lucky and kind of happy. You can't see the features on their face, but often they will type up emojis on their phone and show that to you to let you know how they're feeling. But yeah, their gambit I'm going for is wheels to get my own small vehicle, and I think it'll be like a kind of like a hoverboard, very clunky hoverboard. And I think like the core power source is what I stole from the Reno family.
From the Reno Snakes.
Reno Snakes, that's it. I stole the core power source of that.
So I think if you stole from the Reno Snakes, you're probably familiar with Viper's Bar and Grill, which is like the clubhouse for the Reno Snakes. Out on Reno 12.
Is it the biggest little town planet in the...
Yeah, it's the biggest little town in Reno. I think if you stole from someone, it's got to be from the leader of the Reno Snakes, Francine Dubois.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Love that. Abby, you want to tell us a little bit about who you're thinking of playing?
Yeah. So I built kind of 2 to 3, but the first one was to do brick in the wall, which is you're just a normal, well-functioning person. No angst, no trauma, nothing. How did you end up here? I liked the idea of basically being somebody in our crew, like their pal from home, and one day they were like, hey, you want to go for like a ride, or you want to come with me to run errands? And I was like, sure. And then we just never went back, and I was not in the loop on where we were going and what we we
that could be good with Chinook's character.
I was going to say,
someone that's been with him the whole time.
Yeah, you're like Kumari's friend from home. Like, you know what happened on that 30th birthday.
Yeah.
You were there.
And we're all like, why are they here?
And it's like, who are you? What skills do you add to this? Because, I think that they also just kind of like, we think they're kind of handy, but they're not, the pilot. They're not the engineer. They're just kind of here because Kumari was sad and wanted a buddy. And so, yeah, I was thinking Brick in the Wall. And then either for the Gambit, either wanted to do the perfect lie, which is when you tell someone a lie with a straight face, they always believe you. My idea being that everyone's like, look, they just look like such a normal person. Why wouldn't we believe the things that they say? And then I'd come up with a name for the like love lost sort of a character of Sally Valentine, which I thought was cute. But I wondered if there was something, if we wanted to do something way more plain or basic. Like I kind of like just being Jeff, or like I keep trying to think of names where
I was thinking the name Brick, I think, is a pretty good name.
Brick and Blank.
Brick is a
Brick and blank.
Brick and blank.
Man, it's a real frickin' frack thing.
Brick, blank, and bubblegum.
But yeah, coming up with some kind of a name that just feels really like even their name, especially because I also think it's funny to not necessarily have a title yet of it's like even just by name, people are like, why are you here? Who are you?
I'm going to tell you this right now. I just Googled it, and Maria is the most common name in the world. With over 61 million people are named Maria. So if you want the most normal name in the world, it's Maria.
We could do a little Maria. I promise I won't do that voice.
They don't do the voice.
I was like, damn, I like it. I like it.
Maria. Maria. We want to be Italian woman. Over-exaggerated Italian woman.
Maria just gender bent Mario.
I also like that as you were talking, Abby, you could hear yourself getting just a little bit older. You started out as like a 30-year-old woman, and by the end of that sentence, you were 65.
Yeah, it's just a go-to. So we could do. We're gonna. I'll do Maria. Let's just do Maria.
Maria.
And then yeah, I think that she is wearing like really basic sort of ranch clothes, some worn-in jeans and boots, and a plaid shirt, cowboy hat. She's pretty basic.
Just like a basic cowboy outfit you'd find in like some white girl's closet.
Yeah, oh my god, does she have the festival boots, the high, like the over the knee, like camel colored boots?
No, not even. Hers are just real classic basic.
So funny.
And
Just did work on a farm.
yeah, which is also why her weapon is just a wrench. Because she was straight up fixing something when Kumari was like, hey, you want to come with me to run this errand? And she was like, I won't even go bother put this in my toolbox.
I love this.
15 years since.
And yeah, and she's like, all right, I'm here for the ride, and that seems fine.
Actually, Elliot, I want to turn back to you. And I do want to find out your character's gambit, but I also want to determine between you and Carolyn which family each of you represented, or each of you are like on the run from.
Between the snakes and the Palazzos?
We have the Reno Snakes. We have Saul Jackson, who is like a smuggler,
Right.
and we have the Perazzo family.
So I was thinking, from the way that you described it, I was thinking that I maybe had worked for the Perazzo family.
Yeah.
Ward had been working with Saul Jackson and then gone, and his family's involved in that, and then gone off to prove himself with the Perazzos, who ended up killing his brother. And the Perazzos also killed Nikki.
I think
my
Saul
ex-wife.
Jackson's my dad.
Okay, cool. Ward Jackson is a fucking amazing
Ward
name.
Jackson.
That is a pretty damn
Wardley
cool.
Jackson.
That is pretty cool.
What does Ward stand for? Like, what's the full name of Ward?
Oh, well, so
Wardley?
my initial joke character name when we first talked about Orbital Blues was going to be Wardley Herking, which is just hardly working, switched up. So then I got attached to the name Ward.
I like that name a lot.
Yeah.
Elliot, for Ward, what was Ward's gambit?
So I'm thinking that Ward, when his brother got killed, like either they got like gunned down or caught an explosion, and Ward like got shot up as well, but survived. So I'm thinking about the unstoppable gambit. So he's got a bunch of different like bullet holes, and like really he has that like survivor's guilt of his brother, and like doesn't really understand why he survived because he also got pretty fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, thinking unstoppable.
Hell yeah.
We didn't do character stats. I don't know if we want to do that on mic or if you just want us to do that before.
you can allocate a +2, a +1, a +0, and your 3 stats are muscle, which is your ability to muscle something open or fight someone to the ground, grit, which is kind of your toughness, and savvy, which is your general intellect, and also kind of your dexterity score as well. So from the top down, starting with the boss, where are you putting your +2, your +1, and +0?
I think I'm gonna do +2 to savvy, +1 to muscle, +0 to grit. I feel like someone that's so codependent doesn't have any grit at all.
The codependent is a really good name for a ship. Also,
Yeah, it is. The codependent's pretty good.
If we, that's what our escape pod is called. It's called the codependent.
Can't launch without the main ship.
Blank, what do you got?
I'm thinking. So would savvy or grit be like intimidation factor? Be savvy?
I think that might be muscle.
Muscle. Okay.
Yeah, I think muscle's intimidation.
So I'll do muscle 1, savvy 2, grit 0.
Ward, what do you got for us?
I think Ward is going to be grit 2 because he almost died, muscle 1, and savvy 0 because he's not good at reading situations.
Hell yeah. And it makes sense with the grit too, of like almost died, bullet hole,
Almost
ridden
died,
jacket.
bullet holes,
Absolutely.
unstoppable gambit. Yeah. And it's like a suit jacket that's riddled with holes. Like the Jackson.
Oh, it's not like a leather
Jacksons-
jacket. It's a
I'm
suit
saying
jacket.
the Jackson family wears like the Cowboy Bebop style suits.
Oh, yeah.
sure.
And he's got his brother's like bullet hole ridden jacket.
It's
over
his
like an
brother's.
otherwise nice suit. Oh, sorry,
You didn't
spoilers.
get that, Brand?
No, for some reason I thought it was your bullet hole ridden. Like you still got shot up, but you happened to survive.
Oh, no.
Oh, I did. Yeah, that did happen. But yeah, brother's jacket.
Oh, fucking wild. Eli.
well, I don't know. I've already really fallen in love with this character, and I want them to be perfect.
You picked the wrong game.
I know. I was thinking grit 2 because he's like so determined. And then I guess I'm going to do savvy 1 because I feel like he's savvy because he's a deep thinker. And then I'll do muscle 0 even because he's just so long and lanky. He's quick on the draw. So yeah, so I'm going to be muscle 0, grit 2, savvy 1.
Hell yeah.
Gritty gang.
Gritty gang. Go Philly. Sure.
Yeah, woo.
And Abby, Maria, what do you got for your muscle, grit, and savvy?
Definitely +0 to muscle.
But she's a farmhand.
It's not where strengths lie. I think
I do like the idea of her being strong, but
Yeah.
we could pivot it. I was thinking
no, you do
of
you.
doing +2 to savvy, just because like she's kind of quick on her feet, figuring out how to make herself useful on the ship. Of like good at pivoting when she needs to, because she doesn't actually have a very clear role, and so it's like the savvy to switch between various tasks and just kind of make the best of them.
She's the PA of the ship.
Yeah.
Ship's PA.
Ship PA, and then +1 to grit.
Hell yeah.
We got stats. We got so many stats.
Does anyone have muscle too? We're kind of a pasty
We're a
bunch.
little,
don't
we're a
think
little
so.
scrawny all
I have
around.
muscle 1, but that's all.
I could,
one too.
I could make her +2 to muscle. And
play how you want.
Yeah, do
What
however-
calls to
however
you?
I
you
think that
want.
makes sense for her.
Yeah.
cool.
I think either or works.
We can be not muscular on the whole.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get fucked up every time.
Brian's like, amazing. They've already built in a weakness.
They've already built in a weakness. Not only are you guys going to have low muscle, but you're also going to have slightly lower heart. Heart is your hit points in this game. Heart is equal to 8 plus your muscle.
Oh no.
So you guys can all choose that.
Someone make switches.
It's too late. It's locked in. You are also going to start with blues equal to 0. As I said before, blues are going to tick up as you answer some of these other questions within your trouble, or as you do things related to your trouble, or if you just kind of have a blue moment. Once blues hit 8, trouble is a brewing, and you can kind of actively confront your trouble. You also get some mechanical bonuses during that time as well. Let me talk just a little bit about the base mechanics of this game. The first thing you got to know is this is a D6 based dice pool system. So every single check you're going to be rolling is going to be with 2 or 3 D6s. There are not variable DCs in the system, so you're not trying to beat different numbers. You're trying to match or exceed 8. So for most checks, you'll be rolling 2d6. You'll be adding your grit, savvy, or your muscle and trying to get at or exceed 8. If for any reason you're doing something that allows you an advantage in this game, that's called having the upper hand. In that case, you'll roll 3d6, take the best 2. And same way with disadvantage, you'd be rolling 3d6 going against the odds and taking the lower 2. Same thing as with D&D or with many advantage disadvantage based systems. They essentially cancel out. You can't have like triple against the odds. However, in this game, should you roll poorly, you are allowed to do something called exertion. You can exert yourself and you can spend any amount of heart to re-roll 1 die per heart. So you can kind of like feed into your pool of like essentially hurt yourself, like take some hit points away from yourself to re-roll one of your dice. You can only re-roll a single die 1 time. So once you re-roll that die, you have to keep the result. As we go along and our blues kind of get up there, all of you are going to be confronted with various things that happen to you that kind of like pull on your heartstrings. And I might ask you to make a blues check. A blues check is 2d6 plus your grit. If you roll 8 or higher, you're shook up, but you can take it, and you get to add 1 to your blues. If you roll 7 or less, that feeling passes and you gain no blues. So this is just another way to slowly tick up that blues counter, getting you closer to that 8 and have your trouble come a brewin'. Once per arc, your trouble can come a brewin', so likely all of us will probably have our trouble come a brewin' sometime within this series. When that happens, when you have 8 plus blues, for the rest of that scene, you can spend blues instead of heart for exertion. You also take half damage from all attacks. At the end of that scene, if everything kind of comes together and you either wallow in your blues or confront your troubles, you reset your blues to 0, and you can choose one of the following. You either gain a new trouble, and potentially some new gambits, you can restore all your missing heart, or you can increase one of your stats by 1. So again, sad equals XP in this game.
Is an arc a session, or is an arc the whole of what we're doing?
In this game, the arc is the entire series.
The entire series.
Yeah, scene, sessions,
session
and
arc.
Yeah.
Scene, session, arc.
Yeah, like day, week, month.
Got
Exactly.
it. Cool.
So we'll be playing a number of
Welcome,
scenes.
Brian. I'll take over now.
So we'll be playing a number of scenes spread out over 4 sessions, encapsulating one single arc. One of the last things we have to talk about is, what does death look like in this game? Can characters die? Of course they can. This is the Outlaw Galaxy. If you are reduced to 0 heart, you roll 1d6. If that number is equal to or less than the number of blues you have, your story comes to an end. If it is higher than your blues, then you're knocking on heaven's door. When you're knocking on heaven's door, this is a state you can be in. Your character discloses a regret, a fear, or a disappointment, and you gain an additional trouble. Because if you get close to death, of course you're going to have more troubles come about. And you can spend the next arc trying to make amends or wrestle with that new trouble.
Oh, very cool.
So yeah, just like in Yuzeva's Bed and Breakfast, where you're looking at like your bingos and your whoopsies to kind of dictate stuff, in this game, kind of like follow your troubles and your gambits. Like when you're looking for what would my character do, lean into those troubles, lean into those gambits, because that's the heart of what your character is in this game.
Hell yeah.
Another small thing, if a player would be reduced to 0 heart and you are nearby that character, you can choose to make a diving save to take the damage instead, and in fact take double damage, but you'll prevent the damage given to someone else. If you could do a diving save but choose not to, this is a may clause, you do not have to do this, you will take 1 blues, and you'll have to describe how that makes you feel.
Oh, shit.
Oh my god. I feel like I know everything is so sad about the setup for this, but I feel like this is gonna be fucking so fun.
Oh yeah, I'm so
Just like
I
playing off that
agree.
is so fun.
It's gonna be incredible.
I'm going to be such a bad captain.
No, come on, Captain.
No.
There's one more big epic moment thing that a character could do sometime within this arc, and that is your swan song. A swan song is a voluntary process where you go out in one final blaze of glory. If you choose to do your swan song, all rolls you make will be made with the upper hands, with advantage. No attack or action you make can be reduced to against the odds, so you will, at worst, you'll be rolling straight. All attacks you make are deadly, so they can do more damage. You can make diving saves even if you've already acted this round, and you take no damage. However, at the end of the scene, you sustain a mortal wound and you die.
Whoa.
We could also make it that you retire or leave in some way, but that scene will be the last scene for your character if you choose to do so.
Oh my god.
That's intense.
Oh, the drama. The potential for drama.
It is your swan song. Your song will play, and it will play you out.
I love the drama.
Oh, Drac, you got this look on your face like you're like, I'm totally gonna do that.
I know, yeah.
Drax, like, you're speaking my language.
I didn't know I was that easy to read.
This is really like one of those promos where it's like, this season one character will die. And then it's just all of us looking like, who's it gonna be? And then Drac just being like, with a knife. It'll be me, probably.
That's actually I did not, because I was thinking about a very cool scene that could be my swan song. I did not know I was that easy to read, and that's very
This is your third season around here, Drac. I've got to remember.
Yeah, I could tell you're real bummed that you couldn't kill off Amelie and use it as bed and breakfast.
Oh, damn. I had a whole pan for the vegetables and the fruit. Damn it.
Oh my god.
Midnight Muscadines is a cozy, dark tabletop role-playing game where light and shadow intertwine in a fractured world. Players take on the roles of marmoteers, brave adventurers who journey into the untamed wilderness to collect the elusive Midnight Muscadines, craft magical jams, and protect the fragile light of Nim. Through collaborative storytelling and resourceful gameplay, players weave tales of courage, community, and the pursuit of balance. Will you preserve the light, uncover the truths hidden in the shadows, or reshape the balance of the world forever? Midnight Muscadines is perfect for fans of Studio Ghibli and Sea of Stars who seek to capture the magic of exploration and the heartfelt adventure in a world where small heroes make a big impact. Play Midnight Muscadines as a traditional GM'd game, GMless, or even solo. Midnight Muscadines is crowdfunding now on BackerKit. Join the campaign at pandiongames.com/muscadines.
I'm Quinns of tabletop role-playing game review show Quinn's Quest, and this is Play to Find Out. Play to Find Out is an actual play podcast that brings notorious old games from the 80s and 90s back to the table. Each season of Play to Find Out, I'm joined by Emily Johnson and Rob Morgan.
Good? Nervous?
Yeah.
You both looked at each other really concerned, like you think what's about to happen is going to be unpleasant. And frankly, I think that's rude.
And together, we explore the TTRPGs of ages gone by. Our goal, to separate the TTRPGs that deserve to be remembered from those that maybe don't. I don't know, Emily. It was the 80s. A lot of people were on cocaine. We blow the dust from decrepit systems to learn how they work. Your 100 on the encounter table bursts out. Right, you've encountered a fog. Get ready.
Don't laugh.
Does one get ready for a fast?
Don't laugh.
Encounter their unique quirks.
I do finger guns to cover up how I wince.
Yeah, a weird thing happens as you do finger guns.
Oh no.
And I'm hoping that the Quinn's Quest community will join us in exploring these games too.
If you this up, cannot describe to you how much your adventure ends here.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because the best way to learn is to play to find out. Play to Find Out is available now on the Quinn's Quest Patreon, but the first episode of each series streams for free on the Quinn's Quest YouTube channel and wherever you get your podcasts.
Anyway, you failed the Earth Tech roll, and you made jokes while I was doing my exposition, so you don't get to hear anymore.
Oh no! Come on.
I was shook.
For this season, just want to do a quick safety tools discussion because this is going to be like a sad, depressing season. So kind of the standard lines and veils for My First Dungeon is like, we're not going to touch on racism, sexual violence, homophobia, transphobia. But especially since this is like a sad season, it's dealing with like depression and deeper stuff. Is there anything anyone doesn't want to touch on that they'd want to talk about either on mic or just mention to us and we can cut off mic?
I'm down mentioning mine on mic. I would prefer like no suicide or self-harm.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Like, I think like swan song is fine. Like that kind of like, I guess, quote unquote, putting yourself in danger is fine. But like actual intentional self-harm is kind of like a no thank you for me.
Cool.
Yeah.
I can't imagine Brian. I think that's a great line. It's just kind of funny to imagine Brian like setting up this super graphic like scene with that, just like so out of character.
Yeah. No, I don't. I definitely.
But you never know.
Yeah, I always bring it up just in case for anyone listening as well. If you do keep this in, I don't know.
Yeah.
So never feel uncomfortable about bringing stuff up, even if you think it sounds silly.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump in and say you might have already said this, but any animal abuse stuff, I just don't, or like animals getting hurt.
Yeah.
Just don't.
Not about it. Cool. And this is, as always with safety tools, this is an open discussion. So if during play you realize you do have something, but it's always open discussion. So if anything comes up that you realize, I'd rather not play this, or I'd like to take this in a different direction, on or off mic, we can make those corrections. So that everyone has a good time and that we enjoy our sad space cowboy story.
Yeah.
Fun, sad space cowboys.
Fun,
Fun, sad. Happy, sad.
Fun pression.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, my God.
It's just like Matt DeCaro's music is described as mostly sad, kind of funny.
Yeah.
I think that's perfect. So for the rest of this session 0, I do want to kind of like further establish some of the connections between our characters and like how everyone kind of ended up on the ship. But the last character we have to talk about is indeed the ship itself.
Zoom, zoom.
Zoom.
Make my heart go boom, boom, boom.
And that's the name of the ship.
So one of the most important things we will have to figure out before this is over is what is the name of our ship? And if you are having trouble thinking of a name of a ship, luckily, the reason this whole game came together was because Elliot, our buddy Keith, and musical prodigy himself, Behold, spent our 12-hour car drive back from Gen Con to New York City coming up with 500 ship names and sent them to Zach Cox, one of the co-creators of Orbital Blues. So we've got a list of 500 ship names we could choose from, or we could come up with something brand new.
I want to use the table that they have in here for naming their ship, right? There's a table that
We got a table in there. We got...
I just love using those tables.
The rhinestone cowboy.
You're saying you don't want to use number 396 Snookums from our list?
Oh God! Imagine being shot down by Snookums.
It's even worse. I got shot down by the Snookums.
These Snookums.
My pitch is sunk cost fallacy.
Sunk cost fallacy.
Really good,
very good. Very
actually.
good.
That's really on the nose.
Very good.
Exactly what that ship is.
One of the first things we got to talk about with the ship is the size of the ship. So we're probably looking at a medium-sized ship that could be easily crewed by 6 people. There are like dreadnought-sized ships that need like hundreds of people to crew, so obviously we're not running one of those. There are small ships that are like 1 or 2 people that we're obviously not running those. There are also large ships which are supposed to be run by like 8 to 15 people. if you guys wanted to try to run a ship with way too few people, you guys could also make that call. What do you guys think? Do you think it's a medium or a large ship? And let's start figuring out what this ship looks like.
A medium-sized ship requires how many people to run efficiently?
I think 4 to 6 can run a medium ship perfectly.
I think a medium ship feels good.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I imagine we barely could afford it. Or whoever owns it could barely afford it. Yeah.
I think a medium ship, but this medium ship should have 7 people running it, but we're making it
should be.
I think that's, I was going to say, if we wanted to do large ship, that this is part of how Kumari justifies why I'm there. It's because, like, we needed more crew members.
We need a body.
We need
crew.
Oh, that's
no
fun.
One,
I like that.
I think I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Like, it's a large ship.
I mean, it could be, I like it being a medium ship, but it's like we probably should have at least one more person.
And Marie's doing like 5 jobs while the rest of us do one.
I was going to say, she's definitely doing some engineering, and it's like a kind of, I'll take a look, but stuff is held together with paper clips and gum. Like, she's it works okay enough for the moment. Duct tape is her number one tool.
I think we should do, maybe before we keep going to ship, is answer some of the questions within our troubles.
Yeah.
So within everybody's trouble, there are 5 questions presented to us. We need to answer 2 of them before we start. So I'm gonna go through and kind of just pull some questions from your guys' troubles, and we're gonna learn a little bit more about these people. So Abby, our brick in the wall, or should I say Maria? Maria, I think we've kind of already answered this question, but I want to expand on it a little bit. Of how did you end up on the road and not in a normal job? And I think we've kind of determined that, like, Kumari asked you to come aboard. What did that what did that conversation look like? Like, was that a hard ask to make, or were you able to just pick up and go?
I think Maria's life was just sort of really basic. Like, she was working on a ranch, but also like a pretty decently big one, where when she disappeared, it wasn't necessarily, it was like a couple days or weeks before someone was like, didn't we used to have another person on this team? So I think by the time Maria realized that they were not just going to run errands, and that in fact she was on Kumari's ship and staying there for the foreseeable future, recognized a friend needed a friend, and was like, I guess I'll try to figure out ways to make myself useful here.
Kumari, going over to you. How do you cope with the blues?
When Kumari feels the blues oncoming, they are very reliant on, like, friends, particularly like Maria, into, like, getting them out of that state. So it's like a heavy lean on, like, hey, Maria, things are bad. Talk to me. Do something. Distract me. I think it's a very panicky, like, kind of get enveloped with the relationships they've built with other people around them. And also not talking about birthdays.
Not talking about birthdays.
Blank. So we have the answer of who you're on the run from and why. I kind of want to dig in on why. You could have gotten a power core elsewhere, but you chose the head of the Reno Snakes to steal from. Why did you choose the head of the Reno Snakes to steal the power core to her incredibly valuable and precious to her bike?
I think Blank it's not as, like, deep as other characters, like, stories. They have really bad impulse control, and was like, I shouldn't do this, so I want to try to do this. And very quickly learned why people don't cross the Reno Snakes. So just at the random moments, things even turned a little bit violent, and just hasn't looked back since.
When you first said that idea, I thought it was like, okay, maybe there was just one big race. There was like, I really need to enter this, and the prize money will get me everything that I wanted, and I can get off this planet and, like, pay for my sick aunt's surgery or something, and then I'll give the part back.
And they just saw a shiny
it was
thing,
just
and
like,
they were like,
fuck yeah, I'm taking this.
Yeah. I think, like, they definitely have, like, do definitely, like, enter competitions, and I think for the most part they're, like, pretty okay. at like in the grand scheme of things, like they're not always first, but they're very rarely or ever actually last. Like they're always in the top like 10 when it comes to the races. So they didn't have anything like, oh, this would get me to win. They just truly were like, these people covet these things so much, I want to take it. And did.
Whoa.
Hell yeah. Is the core still working well, or have you worn it down?
I think the core is the only thing that works well. This is very much like, it's like taking like an Android battery and putting it in an iPhone. Like it's not meant to work with these things.
Right.
So that's I think everything else, the peripherals of it, is what's like causing it to be barely working. But the core itself, I think why it's so valuable is because the core is like has such a long lifespan and can do like power so much, is why it's such a valuable thing. But I don't think even my character really understands the weight of it. Just like, it was shiny, so I took it.
I'm curious. One of the questions was, who helped you escape? Because I got to think, you were just trying to see if you could do it. You did it, but they found you. Like, they found out that it was you. Like, they know that this was taken from them. Did you have to rely on anyone else to get you out of there? And kind of what state did you leave them in as you left?
That's a very tough question. I think it's a close friend. I think I was with a close friend, and I think that's kind of like, I think we would often do reckless stuff, for the most part, get away with it. And I think it got to our head to the point where we're like, okay, we can take on the Reno snakes. We can do this. And this friend, Blank likes to think that this friend riled him up to do this, to steal this core. But deep down, Blank is fully aware that he didn't need much to be coaxed into doing this. He really wanted to. He was already thinking about it. But I think his friend helped him escape. And he doesn't know what state he's in. He left him behind. And it was kind of like I don't think he left him behind and clearly saw him getting approached by the arena snakes. It was kind of like a scatter kind of thing. We split different ways, and because of us splitting, they kind of had to divide forces, and that helped Blank at the very least escape. But I haven't heard from or know really the status of my friend, and it's been a while. I think probably like months, maybe a year.
And does your friend have a name?
I'm so bad with names. What's
Use the table.
Yeah,
It's
what's
so
the table?
good.
The table's
so
very
good.
cool. It's great.
I keep saying the longer I play role-playing games, the more I like a random table.
Yeah.
Love a random table.
Dell. Yeah.
That's a good name.
Yeah. And I think Dell uses she, they pronouns, actually.
I'm also, the first thing that popped in my head was, rather than being at like DEL, it's DELL like the computer.
Oh, that is what I
DELL. Oh, it is DELL in the table.
Yeah, I was like, that's what I thought too. I love it. Dell and Blank.
Blank and Dell. On the run.
Now we just need like a null.
There we go.
I was thinking Null for a name at first. Like,
Null is a cool name, but I like Blank. I like Blank a lot.
Eli.
Yes.
You and Nikki, your lost love.
Yes.
Who said I love you first?
We said it at the same time.
I love the idea of it's like a quick draw, like standing opposite each other, hands at their side as they're about to pull a gun, and they both say it at the same time.
Pull their guns. It says "I love you" on it.
It's like the
like the cartoon. Yeah.
That's what on the inside of his 6-shooter pistol, like when you flip out to like reload, it says "I love you" like engraved on that.
Oh, okay, that's kind of cute.
You know that scene from Lord of the Rings where Aragorn and Arwen are standing on the bridge? That's what it was like, but it was a gangster spaceport. They held hands and said "I love you" at the same time.
Very romantic.
I don't know why, but I fully thought you were going to say, you know that scene in Lord of the Rings where Aragorn kicks the helmet? You know, he actually broke his toe.
You know, Viggo Mortensen actually adopted that horse after filming.
And we know how that relationship ended. Where did it end?
It ended at the spaceport of the gangsters, basically their garage. And we were on the run we were about to steal the fastest ship they had to get out of there for good, start a new life somewhere peaceful and pure. And I was getting in the ship, and she was reaching for the door, about to get in, and I had all systems booted up. And then all I see is her eyes and then a bullet hole through her brain, and she fell dead. And her hand slipped off the door handle, and she fell dead to the ground. And then I flew away. She told me to live. She said, "Go!" And then I went, and she was dead.
She died on screen, bullet through the head. There's no way she's coming back.
I mean, I don't know. There's cyborgs and shit. I would give anything in this world, in all the worlds, for her to come back. But dead is dead. And I'm real sad about it.
Doing a lot of staring.
I'm doing a lot of staring. Anytime, sometimes I'll just stop in the middle of a sentence and look wistfully out the window at the stars passing by. Each one of them reminds me of the gleam in her eyes when that bullet came through her head.
It reminds you of that.
Sometimes there's a lot of stars.
Not her joy. No, specifically that.
I'm sad now. You know when something, it's like in the Inside Out, when that one memory colors all the other memories, and then you're sad when you remember that happy memory. That's what happened to me.
That's what happened to me.
That's what happened to me.
Is Eli's thing also movie references?
I'm really curious. I was going to ask that as well.
Okay, it's supposed to be anachronistic, so maybe I'll only do like pre-1991 movies.
Yes.
You know that scene in Gremlins?
You know that scene in the Goonies?
Hell yeah. Ward, you're in too deep. We already know what unsavory organization you worked for. You worked with
Jacksons.
with Saul Jackson, with the Jacksons. Your father, Mr. Jackson.
My father.
My father.
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 My question for you is, which old friend would help you out with something illegal if you asked nicely?
I think that maybe not a family member, but I have a grew up friend who's still in the Jacksons. Still runs with the Jacksons.
There are 5 of them?
No.
Nice.
No.
I'll be honest, that one took me a couple of seconds.
That was good.
Yeah, I think there's a friend who essentially after my brother died, I went to go home to tell my family that he died, and this friend stopped me and was like, they already know, and they're gonna kill you if you show up back at home. They're the one who pushed me away.
And you wanna roll a name on the table?
I would love to roll a name.
Roll a name.
Roll a name.
Roll that name.
That is a 13. We've got Quinn.
Quinn.
Quinn. And I think Quinn uses they them pronouns. Quinjamin Button for full. Yeah. For long.
Quinjamin Button.
I hate it.
Oh my God.
Quinjamin sounds
no.
bad.
I hate it.
No, because then
Quinjamin.
we used to call them Quinge when we were.
I think that's why I don't like it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's bad.
So Quinge.
So Quinge.
So quick.
Oh no. You guys are giving me too much ammunition.
No misses today.
No
All
misses.
hits.
They're all misses. It's wild. You'd think just law of large numbers.
So cringe.
What is your most disarming feature?
I think it's that I have just the most average face you can imagine.
Nothing remarkable.
There's nothing
Face
remarkable
only a mother could love.
about my face. It's not pretty. It's not ugly. I have no notable scars or moles.
So your skin is never acne ridden, but it's also never clear.
Yeah.
You're a police sketch artist word nightmare.
Yeah.
I both look like everyone you've ever met and also not identifiable.
Yeah. Like when SpongeBob becomes normal face.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
I just have an extremely disarming face. Such that, yeah, if there was a wanted poster, it'd be like, did I see them yesterday? Maybe.
I think this is my cashier.
I would love to have it turn out that Maria is like incredibly wanted, but just no one can get a bead on what
No one
she
can
looks
find her because that
I
wanted
love that.
poster is just kind of like, that doesn't look quite like her, but I also can't tell you why.
You can use anyone's ID as a fake because they're like,
Oh my
yeah.
god.
They're like close enough.
Yeah, this looks like you, I guess.
As long as they don't have any really notable scars, I could just kind of take anyone's ID and you pass it as my.
Oh my god.
Kind of going along the lines of kind of the musical nature of this game. I asked everyone to prepare 1 or 2 songs as well that if their character was given the aux cord on the ship, what they would end up playing. So like the jukebox that is physically on the ship.
Yes.
I am most curious about what the most average woman in the universe has chosen.
Oh my god.
Happy birthday.
No, Jessica, that would be awful.
That's so funny. Maria's never allowed to have the aux cord. Kumari will shoot someone.
I think the 2 songs that Maria would play most often would be Sugar Town by Nancy Sinatra and Queen Jane by Bob Dylan.
Oh, those are very sad songs.
Yeah, when all your advisors stand to correct you and you cannot conceive them of your pain and you want someone to protect you, won't you come see me, Queen Jane? And like when all the clowns you've commissioned have died in battle or in vain and you're sick of all this repetition, won't you come see me, Queen Jane? So yeah, to me, this song, the lyrics were very much like, when all your world is crumbling around you, won't you come see me? Like I'll basically be your home.
Oh.
Nice. Chinook, the boss. What when you're not allowing Maria on the aux cord, what are you putting on?
Stop playing Happy Birthday.
I'm trying to decide if Maria ever puts it on to be mean, but I don't think she would.
I think she has it loaded up for the day that she is hoping for when Kumari's like, you know what? Okay.
Yeah.
The first song Kumari plays when they're like in a good mood is Boss by the Carters.
Nice.
Okay. Very nice.
Yeah. Pretty. I thought about that one, folks. Like I think Kumari's trying to always like have an upbeat type vibe in the car, so they don't turn it around. So I think the next song they choose is "Paint the Town Red" by Doja Cat.
Yes. That song has been on repeat for me.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Blank, our mute friend. What songs do you throw on the aux cord when you get the chance?
I think Blank is very much the kind of person who plays one song over and over again. So there's only one specific song, and it's called Pizzazz by Akintonye. And basically the general gist of Pizzazz is the literal lyrics are, if I'm going to be sad, I will do it with pizzazz. Just being like, I'm going to be cool with how sad I am. I'm going to get money out of how sad I am. Like, if I'm going to have to do it, if I'm going to have to go through this, I might as well make the best out of it.
Hell yeah.
What a bop.
That and maybe Overload by the same artist, I can tell you, but definitely Pizzazz.
We had a pretty good idea of this crew. It feels like a lot of this crew is like, I'm choosing music to try to not be sad. I'm very much this is my escape kind of thing.
Yeah.
Ward, is that still true for you?
I don't know. I mean, I guess this song isn't sad on the surface, but it is sad the meaning behind it. But Zombie by the Cranberries is one of Ward's go-tos.
That's one of those songs that someone says it and it just starts playing in your head.
Oh, yeah.
You can hear it perfectly.
In your head.
I didn't even realize.
And Carolyn, Eli. What's Eli throwing on the aux?
Eli O'Connor don't play no happy shit. Okay? It's called Human by Rum.Gold. And I really like the name of it because I think it's like, it's space, you know, because it's very sexual. It's like a horny song, but it's a sad horny song.
Love sad horny.
Which is really
kind of
the
horny
energy.
song.
Yeah, the best genre.
That's really the energy that Eli O'Connor gives off.
Sad and horny.
Sad and horny.
The second song that I found is probably one that you'll know, and it's Alone by Heart.
Oh, sure.
You've definitely heard this song. And if you think you haven't, you're wrong. And those are kind of the vibes. He's just so sad. I like Human because I feel like Eli feels very vulnerable and like very human, too much so maybe. And then Alone is how he feels the rest of the time.
Brian, you're going to make a playlist. Or you're going to
I'm going to make all these playlists.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, I'll send them around.
Ooh.
I'm very excited to listen to all of this.
Yeah.
The last crew member that we haven't touched on is the ship itself, because the ship is your home. It is an aspect of your family. We know we're going to be in a medium-sized ship, but what is the vibe of this ship? Like, what's the look of this ship? What works? What doesn't? And probably most importantly, what is the name of our ship?
I think the AC doesn't work.
Yeah.
The AC definitely doesn't work.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think we're often hotter than we would like to be when we're on the ship.
Yeah.
Well, that's easy. All you got to do is just open up the airlock.
Open the
for a
window.
second.
Yeah.
I think that maybe Kumari is very like, because you want to, like, you don't like sad songs on the radio and like you want it to be happy, that like a lot of the ship is very like colorful.
Yeah, and there's like,
or like it's mix and match, like pieces or parts, or like it's a bad paint job, but like it's an attempt to brighten things up a little bit, but it's also worn. And
Are you talking inside the ship or outside the ship?
maybe both, maybe inside.
yeah.
As long as it has big windows that kind of curve around part of it,
Oh,
so I
yeah.
can just really stare out of it. Good
Yeah.
stare-in windows.
I like it
And
having
then
one escape pod that Eli has sort of commandeered, of just, it's got the big windows, and when in doubt, we can find you sitting there.
you just find me sitting there, or like when you go in there and I'm not there, there's just like Kleenexes that like with salty tears.
Yeah, I think Kumari also like has a bunch of like motivational posters all over the ship, and like the one in the escape pod is just like is the classic like cat hanging on a thing, and it says "hang in there" just for Eli.
Yeah.
I love it. It's like, but the cat has a little astronaut helmet.
I was
on.
thinking the exact same thing. That is so funny. I was about to say the exact same thing.
Oh my god, Jack, that's hilarious. I think if it's okay with you guys, I feel like Chinook should choose the name or like roll the dice, because it feels like his ship. So
Yeah.
if you want to roll from the table or choose, I think that would be
I
fitting.
think that makes
Sure.
sense.
Yeah, I'll roll.
Oh man, there's so many good ones.
And then I also think that there should be a weapons system that you have to like crawl up into, like a
yeah.
weapons pod, either 2 on the side or 1 on the side and 1 on like the top of the ship.
And I think you have to crawl into it because like there was like a little lift thing that would take you up, but it broke a long time ago. We haven't fixed
Yeah.
it. So you have to like
Yeah.
actually just climb up the tube to get up there.
Maria definitely like duct taped together some wooden spoons from the kitchen to make a ladder. And that's how you get up there now. Because she was like, engineering an elevator or lift is really beyond my expertise, so we're going to do the next best thing.
But you know what doesn't really break? Wood.
Yeah, the spoons kept breaking, so now it's just duct tape, like reinforcing itself.
Yeah.
So I rolled a 7. That means our ship name is the 21st night of September.
Oh,
In a dark twist, can that be your birthday?
Love it.
And we just don't know it yet.
oh my god, that's your birthday. Oh my god.
That's my birthday.
Oh,
Maria,
random tables, random tables,
crazy.
random tables.
That's really good.
Also,
I love it.
not for nothing, we're recording the first session of this on the 21st night of September.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. Wait.
That's crazy.
Oh my god.
it's like the origins of 007 all over again. So good.
Damn,
We've gotten
goddamn.
really lucky with
Fate.
dates specifically on this show.
That's really good.
Truly magical.
The other ship thing for ship equipment, I wanted to pick rudimentary android, and I would like them to be crank powered, so that if we want the android to do anything, we have to spend a minute just like,
Yeah.
I love that. What is the android's name? Or it could be like, what is the what's the company name?
I feel like we should roll for it. Or I feel like a crank robot would have an old-fashioned name.
I don't know if it was in the US as well, but in the UK, there was this old show. I probably shouldn't say old because
I was going to say, I'm very excited to see what show you name and be like, I watched that in college.
It was called The
Old
Office.
show from so long ago. It's
so
called
long ago. You know
Succession.
Futurama, right? No, I'm joking. No, there's a show where it was a car that was alive. Not cars, but like it was a car that
Herbie?
was alive. Yes.
Herbie Fully Loaded. That is actually
Yeah.
old.
That counts as an
That
old
counts
show.
as old.
Yeah, what
you're
if
okay.
Andrew was Herbie?
Herbie's a good. I
That's
like
cute.
Herbie as
I
an
love
android
the name
name.
Herbie.
Hey, could you crank up Herbie?
Yeah.
Somebody crank Herbie.
Wind up Herbie again. It's a wind up android. We have to remember to wind it like a watch or it doesn't function.
Yes.
And that's how we run the ship.
Oh my god, that's how we run the ship. Yeah.
Well, that's how we fill the extra
last
seat.
slot.
Yeah.
We each choose one thing that it has on the ship, right?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Should we do that?
Yeah.
Can I tell you mine?
Yeah, hit me up. What do you think should be on the ship?
I like the skeleton key card. I just think that's gonna be really come in handy. I think having a magical key that opens different doors is real fun.
I really thought you were just going to say we have a skeleton on board.
Me too.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, we do pranks. We do pranks.
Oh, we
with
do
that skeleton.
pranks.
We've got to decorate for Halloween. It's gonna be Halloween in 1 month on our ship.
It's gonna be Halloween. This shit.
Cool. So the ship has Herbie, our wind up crank powered android. We have a skeleton key card that gives us access to essentially any door we're trying to get into. Blank. What would you bring to the ship, or what do you think the ship needs?
Just because I think it'll be really interesting to have to use poor quality spacesuits. We have to roll a D6 to know how many of them we have, but D6 worth of poor quality spacesuits.
I got a D6 right here.
I got your D6 right here.
We got. I rolled a 5, so we got 5.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Nice. We have 5 spacesuits?
Yeah.
Yeah.
5 spacesuits.
Well, there's 5 of us.
What?
Unfortunately, Herbie also needs oxygen.
Oh. So sorry,
Funny.
Herbie.
It's an oxygen-powered droid.
An oxygen-powered, wind-up powered droid.
Yeah, the winding gets the oxygen into it.
Exactly. It's a bellows system.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'll go over to Schnook, the boss. What does your ship have on it?
Kumari has a bio compass on the ship to presumably for bounty hunter jobs, but Kumari's also looking for someone from their birthday party to give them answers.
Hell yeah. And Biocompass is able to detect people, right?
Yeah, you can put their biological a hair or I don't know, sweat in it, and they can
Like a
be kinda
DNA
located
tracker.
through the compass. Yeah.
And then Abby.
I think system communicators, so that we can do chats from different parts of the ship.
We love doing
Oh,
chats.
little chat.
We love doing
Ooh.
chat.
I love our little chat.
There's a
I
bathroom
love our
phone.
little
You can talk
chats.
while someone's in the bathroom.
Yeah, I think that Maria picked this up when she and Kumari made their very first stop, because she was like, you still have to drive the ship and I have to go do other things, but you can still call me. It's cool. We can do chats. We just don't need to be in the same room.
No, but why not? We could be Willy Wonka bed buddies.
I think Maria does sleep on an air mattress on the floor of Kumari's captain's quarters.
Kumari's in the captain's
Oh my
quarters.
god.
Yeah, that's absolutely how we do it.
Yeah.
I love how codependent our captain is.
Yeah.
So codependent, it's crazy.
Abby, as far as the communicators go, just because everything in this world is like a little bit shitty because it's mass produced, what is inconvenient about the communicators? Like, do you have to dial an extension? Are they heavy? Are they glitchy?
I think that they are glitchy. Like there's a lot of cross frequency. So sometimes you'll like pick up the radio in the middle of someone's sentence, or they'll just sort of like cut out for a couple of words, or do the thing where it's like and you're like, are you going into a tunnel? What's happening?
A wormhole? Are you going through a wormhole?
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
So this is the 21st night of September. It is a medium-sized vessel. What do you think this vessel was originally used for? Like, was it a freighter? Was it a transport ship? Was it a, like, some kind of medium-sized gunship? Like, what was it originally used for before you guys bought it and slowly ship of Theseus it?
They have a table for that.
Oh, really? Wait, okay. What page is that?
Shanook, since you're the cat, you want to roll a d6?
I'll let Carolyn roll it since she was so excited about there being a table.
God, I do love to roll. Okay, let's roll. We got a 2. So that means it was a bounty hunter ship.
Ooh, the biocompass makes sense now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that was the former origin, and then there's the former purpose, and then there's a ship origin, which someone else should roll.
Yeah, anyone else got a d6 they want to roll?
That's a 1.
Found in a junk heap.
Oh,
Maybe
found
we
in
throw
a
this
junk
away.
heap. That's perfect.
Yeah.
And I can Herbie be like kind of bloodlusty because he was part of a bounty hunter ship?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We can't give Herbie too much
Oh my
oxygen.
god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Wait. It's Herbie. Herbie has weapons. He is literally Herbie fully loaded.
Oh my god.
Yes.
I like the idea also if he starts to get a little too bloodlusty that we kind of like crank him back down.
Yeah, like, oh,
Take out his oxygen. Light a fire inside him.
The pin thing.
The key?
The key.
The key?
That
Yeah,
sounds
it's like a
right.
winding key.
Yeah.
Like a little wind-up
Yeah, just
doll
pull
that
the key
none
if
of
he
us
gets
have
too
ever
violent.
played with,
Yeah.
but we know from cartoons.
Wait, there are a couple more tables here for the ship. I'm gonna go and roll on the ship chassis table.
Ooh.
Oh, the chassis.
6. It is large, lumbering, and obtuse. A real heavyweight.
Yeah, it is.
Oh.
The bosom
Love
of the
it.
ship.
The bosom of
What's
the
a chassis?
The
Is
bosom
that
of
like
the ship.
the body of it?
Yeah, it's like the
Yeah.
main body.
Can I roll for one?
Yeah, you want to roll on the additional features table?
Yeah.
Or on the ship weapon table?
Oh. Well, let's see.
Well, no, you got to call it before you roll it.
Nope. All right. You said additional features, so I rolled 3. It has a galactic map deck, makes travel a breeze.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Makes sense for a
Saucy.
former bounty hunting ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Drek, you want to roll on the ship weapon table?
Yeah. 4. Multi-cannon.
Multi-cannon.
Military heavy.
Hell
Jesus.
yeah. We're gonna fuck someone
I
up.
feel like
I
Kumari
love
got,
this.
a little too revengeful one day and saw those cannons and was like, these will be perfect.
This is what we need.
This is what I need. Find the answers that I want.
I'm really waiting for that one battle when we can bring out Herbie and crank his oxygen up
All the way.
Fully load Herbie.
I'd like to
we
use all
we
my
do it and
turns to crank.
throw. We throw Herbie because we know if we're in range, Herbie will see us as an enemy. So we crank it and throw Herbie and just run.
Yes.
With the ship, there are 3 stats we have to choose for the ship, which are systems, mobility, and body. Body is basically the kind of toughness of the ship. Mobility is the speed, dexterity type thing. And systems are basically anything to do with the mechanical systems of the ship. We get to put a +0 on one, a +1 on one, and a +2 on one.
Ooh.
I say +2 on the body, especially from what we rolled, right?
Yeah, it's
like
large.
you said, it was like
And plus
booty.
0
Big
on
booty ship.
dexterity or whatever it was.
mobility.
Systems.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Then
Mobility.
1 on systems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Love it.
Yeah, we don't move fast,
Yeah.
but if we get in range, you're in trouble.
yeah.
Boy, are you in trouble.
Yeah.
Because also we're beefy.
Yeah.
I like that for a former bounty hunting ship that like maybe it was more agile, but then the shit that we've added to it for like whatever.
aesthetics.
The
Yeah.
military
Yeah.
cabins really
Yeah.
upset the balance, and so she's not so aerodynamic anymore.
Mhm.
Whatever
posters are
Kumari's
really
like
heavy.
nonsense is. It's weighing,
Poster.
weighing down
There
the
are a
ship.
lot of
It's just so
posters.
heavy.
Wait, Kumari, what's the
Posters.
paint job?
On the outside,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like all pastel colors, just like a pastel everything.
Yeah, I like that.
What's that artist that does those smiling flowers? It's the Japanese artist.
Murakami?
Yeah, it is Murakami. Yeah, Takashi Murakami. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm picturing
Happy.
in like all pastels.
Just you guys are just a beacon of happiness
yeah.
flying through the outlaw
Yeah.
galaxy.
Yeah.
That's
That's
terrifying.
exactly it.
Could a depressed person have a ship this color?
Trying so hard to not be sad. It's like this is what Kumari's therapist once told them years ago. When they were still in therapy.
I like the idea that they he told us that if anyone questions it, they're like, it helps with cloaking.
Yeah.
All of these
Yeah,
colors, it helps with
totally.
cloaking.
Yeah. It's like
How does it help with clothing?
what's it? Is it Hitchhiker's Guide where they paint the mountain pink to make it disappear?
Yeah,
Or
I
your-
think
Oh,
so.
It
yeah.
feels like
Gently.
Hitchhiker's Guide.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's one of the Douglas Adams, but
Hell yeah, we've got our ship, we've got our crew. But any last things anyone wants to toss in to this world before we get started?
I actually do have a thing.
Yeah.
The company or like the company or brand of my hoverboard
There we go.
before I ship of thesis it was Saffron Technologies. I think I'm going to go with.
Saffron
Ooh,
technology.
cool.
Yeah.
Technology.
That is an extremely cool name.
And like they have everything from like boards to like pens, like just like everything they got their grubby little mitts in.
It's like the Hitachi of
Yeah.
space, where they make like vibrators and like high powered like lawnmowers.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that they made like military gear as well. Like just a wide range of stuff.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And that is all for this session 0 of My First Dungeon for Orbital Blues. Tune in next week as the 21st night of September blasts off into the Frontier Galaxy. Thank you once again to Soul Muppet Publishing for sponsoring this season. Please go right now, check out their Kickstarter for Orbital Blues Afterburn, the supplemental book to the Orbital Blues game. It's going to be very cool. Lots of like ship-related stuff and a massive adventure, as well as a bunch of other smaller modules that they're including within their Kickstarter. Go check it out. There's so much cool stuff there. And last but not least, as always, remember, if you're having fun, you're already doing it right. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye. See you later,
See ya,
Space
Space
Cowboys.
Yeah.
yeah, we need our Badai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll find it. You can't force him. You can't rush
Can't
it.
force it. Hey,
It was natural.
Not trying to force it. Here's me, not trying to force it.
If you're hearing this, that means you have listened to every last second of this episode, and that probably makes you a fan of this show. Well, if you're a fan and you like what we're doing and want to help others find it as well, then consider leaving us a 5-star review over on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts. Getting more ratings really does help more people find the show, and reading your nice words about the things that we put out into the world makes us feel all warm and good inside, and we want more of those good feels. So head on over to your podcast player of choice and leave us a 5-star review. Thanks.